Hello, I'm Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. I'm having to do this twice because I just realized that I had the microphone turned down. Welcome to the very first show of 2018. Today, we have our friend Jimboctration with us. He is an old-time Vape fan member, and I'm so excited to see him. I want to say hi to all y'all. Welcome to 2018. Hello. Hey, Jim. 1 second. Hey there. We're back. Here I am. We're in Orbital Vaping Headquarters. That's Jim right there. Everybody say hello. That's your cue, buddy.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Good to see you all.
I think they're doing fine.
Well, not see you, but you can see me anyway. That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
they can. We can't see them. Everybody in chat, though, I want to say hi. Roland, Chili Dog, Michaela, Cliff Vales. I can only read the last few pages here. Steven, James Rivera, love all of you. Thank you guys so much. You guys all know Jim. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube right here. Click on the subscribe button, click on that like button, and click on the link in the description that says follow us on Discord. And actually, you'll have to go to juicyjoneshq.com and click on the banner that says join us on Discord because I don't have the link in the description yet, but I will when it goes under replay. So it's 2018, Jim. The first thing I want to do is get a vaping story out of you. We always do that with all the guests on the show, and I want to just find out from you, what it's been like to be a vapor and if it's been hard or maybe it's been easy for you. I don't know. Everyone has a different story. And then we're just going to chat about all kinds of stuff. But tell everybody also what you're vaping on, please, if you don't mind.
Today, I'm vaping on a Dreamer by Times Vape, and I've got the drop on it. Vaping some lemon ice cream waffle, favourite from down at Puff Ricky.
Which you talk about all the time, yeah.
I love it. And I've got a few other mods here that I'll be switching between. Yeah, I'll never stick to one.
That's right. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I just had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And I realized that I don't think I sang the theme song there. I think I forgot to sing the theme song during the intro. That's silly. And so, first of all, massive shout out to your local shop and your buddies out there, right? The guys at Puff Ricky and Times Vape.
Yeah, Puff Ricky. I mean, they're great guys over there. I see them this morning. Brilliant every time. Can't fault them.
And it's afternoon there, right? So I forgot. So you've seen them today. You went and said hi to them, yeah.
Yeah, I went down there this morning. Bright and early before they even open. Eager beaver.
Were you knocking on the door? You're like that guy.
I'm there with a. This morning I turned up with a pack of donuts. I was like, "Come on, breakfast, tea, let's go." And then they open up, and it is. We wait for Roland. He's never there on time, but
you're a truly kind person. That's a kind person. That's nice because you say all kinds of nice things about them. They must be nice guys. That's great.
Oh yeah, they are brilliant people.
That's cool. Dude, so tell everyone your story. Where you at? What do you do? Where do you live? What's it like for you to be a vapor there where you're at? I know that you're in England, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I live in England. I live in Essex, and yeah, it's all right. I mean, I used to. The thing that got me onto vaping, I used to use shisha pipes and things like that, but when I moved, I didn't want all of that paraphernalia in my flat really, because people come around, they see you've got bongs, they see you've got this or shisha pipes, but what people's first reaction is, you must be doing weed or you must be doing this. And I'm not saying anything against that, but that's not the impression I wanted to give off, that's where I was at. So I just thought, you know what, I'll try a few like flavors. And it was a long time ago, and I walked past like Puff Ricky in the market, and they just had some bits and bobs on the side, and I thought, yeah, I'll give that a try. So I bought something, an RX 200. I remember it well, and I bought that, and I was like, wow, this is great. And I was tasting the flavors, and I was like, this is convenient. This is what I want to do. And it just went from there. I sort of carried on like with a vaping. I started going to the shop every weekend, whenever. You can't fault the mods. That was brilliant. And you sort of build up a friendship with these people. You build up a customer base with these people. And there was other shops that popped up. And there's other shops that I go to. I visit a lot of shops in London. But Puff Ricky, it's just always suited what I've wanted. And I go there, and it's such a warm welcome for me. It's just brilliant. I mean, it's just it's just inspired me to carry on doing it, really. And I've met so many nice people doing this, and it's just what's keeping me doing it. And yet I wasn't a smoker as such. I came into vaping because it was just a convenient way of relaxation for me, because I used to set up a shisha and I'd go to bars, and it's expensive, but
Yeah,
you
and the
know,
shisha thing too is an enormous amount of nicotine. It's really tasty and everything. It's like vape times 3 sometimes, but people
yeah,
don't realize how much fire danger there is. Honestly, I used to do it in the house constantly. I quit smoking myself by using the hookah and
yep,
nicotine lozenges. And so the hookah was very helpful for me because we weren't smoking and I was baking the tobacco. But oh my God, the amount of nicotine. Whoa, dog. And those little coconut coals, the really good ones, those fall on those do fall sometimes. It just
yep,
happens and it lands on your
yep,
parquet tile or whatever, and you're like, oh my
yep,
God.
yeah,
So,
that's
and it is
right.
a lot
And
of
it's
stuff. And ash.
yeah, and this is just convenient, you know. I mean, I just drip in my liquid and I vape. It don't get
Yes.
much better than that.
You said something that really kind of like stuck with me a little bit, and that is that it's kind of the family or the community that keeps people with this. And one of the things that we harp on the channel a lot is that everybody's everybody's story with coming into vaping is different, and we're all trying to stay off cigarettes and not be sucking on the
I'm
hookah
trying to
or
get on.
popping lozenges or putting the patch on. All that we're trying to avoid all that stuff, and in a kind of way that also it gives us a hobby, and the community part of it is so important, and we just live to make friends and meet people. You and I met on Instagram just for or
Yep.
YouTube. I can't remember. It might have been, you tell
It
me. How
was
did
YouTube. You was on YouTube, and I think I asked you a couple of questions, and then it was like I followed you on Instagram, and there was something I asked you, and just the response, it was like an open response. It wasn't like, boom, there's your answer, now leave me alone. It was, there's your answer, open, come back at me with something else, and
yeah,
that different, and that is what makes this channel a community.
yeah,
Like, you're welcome. Come in, we'll answer your question, but we're ready for the next.
yeah,
Not, yeah, all
totally.
right, there's your answer. See you later. That's not what I like. I like openings. Openings are good, and
Yeah, it's true.
the community on Discord, it's all about openings.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very perceptive. That's good. I do try to do that. I answer all the questions I get too. I think maybe the number of times I haven't answered has been on, I could count on one hand maybe, and it was always because it was some obvious scam or some weird thing. But even the underage kids that message me, I tell them you need to turn 18, and then you're welcome. It's just one of those things. Like, I'll talk to anybody. I don't mind doing that, and I like it. And I love people like you, and I love everybody in the audience. To me, the community is a major part of this. Is for us to
This
talk about the stuff.
this is what's kept me in it. I like when I've got friends, and I work in schools, and I meet a lot of people all the time, all over London. I work in different schools, I meet different school keepers, I meet people all over, and you, I love talking. And the thing is, even though I'll go there, I'll think, right, I'll look at my job sheet, and I'll think, right, today I'm going to that school, I'm going to see so and so. I'll talk to them, and that's my interaction. It's like I'm seeing, they're not my friend, but they're an associate. But when you go to vape, like I've been to vape expos, and everyone goes there with a common interest, and yet you find out so much more about people that it's like you go there, and then you find out everything else. And like, I have made some really good friends doing this, and I've got more friends now doing this than I've ever had, and it suits me, and I love it. I love that. I love that, the way that is. Um, Last year I broke my neck. I was at work. I had a fall. I broke my neck. I got up, carried on working. That's the way I roll. But during my recovery period, every day of the week, near enough, I was like, maybe twice a week, I was going down to the pub Ricky stall, and the guys there, I'd go there, and I was sitting there in a neck brace, but the laughs I had, I'd sit there just drinking tea and just feeling so welcome. That's when it kind of, for me, made me feel like part of the team down there, part of the family down there. And it's a different kind of vibe to other shops that you go into. I visit a lot of shops, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great shops out there, but some shops you go in, it can make it a bit inaccessible to someone who's new. If you go in there and you've got someone there that's quite advanced, and they will look down and they want to look down on people that are not quite their level, they will either, you might have to shop trying to sell them something that's way out of their means, because they might say, I want a kit that chucks clads. Oh, you ain't gonna, that's not the right reason to vape. You should want to give up smoking. And if you want to give up smoking, then you need this. And that's more of the vibe you get down at my local shop. And to me, I prefer that. I'm advanced in the stuff that I buy and the stuff that I'm interested in. I like my mech mods. I like high-end devices. But I also realised that once I was at the lower end, I was starting out, and there's other people that are like that too. And the last thing that they need is me putting them off by making it all confusing for them, when I should be encouraging them to get off the smoking and start with something small to begin with. And
Yeah,
that's
context is everything there. Like where you are, it's. I always use this analogy. It's like shifting the gears of your car or your motorcycle. The reason you shift gears of your motorcycle is to match engine speed to road speed. It's translated through the tires and the gears and all the other junk, and it's a mechanical thing. And that's the same thing with nicotine. You need to match your nicotine or your vape to your needs, not to what Jim vapes, not to what Juicy vapes, and not to what Michaela vapes. It's, I mean, in this community, we have people who vape very small mouth to lung devices, and we debate about the quality of those. And we have people who vape huge cloud chucking monstrous stuff, and like this, and the Mad Dog V2, and we debate about the merits and designs of those, and we have all kinds of tanks and rebuildables and clearomizers. People have everything, and we talk about those, and it's all of them are things that match someone's need to their vape, and some of them are completely useless, and so we always dart those, like, don't get that. But you've made a really good point, is that you must always match that, and shops that appreciate that are really good. It's really fun to have that topic too. You've been really excited about them this week, and it's a really good excuse for us to just talk about this and encourage people to get out there and meet your local people and see how they treat customers and stuff. And
there's no best. Like when I'm at when I'm at the shop, I go there. So I try to go there every Saturday morning, because, like I say, it's not just. Oh, I went there this morning, I didn't buy anything. I don't go there to buy stuff. I buy stuff off of them, obviously, but I don't go there just for that reason. I go down there, buy tea, drink tea, have donuts, whatever I want to do, because that's what I'm going there for. You get into that. You just want to go to these places. But I tell you, when I'm there, the amount of people that you get coming up and the things that they ask, what's the best setup? What's the best? I want the best. My mate's got this. He's told me to get a Smok Alien. That's the best. No, it's not. There's no best. The best is what gets you what you need. If it gets you off the fags, that's the best.
Yeah,
you're off
that's
the
best right there. If you're not smoking, it's the best.
Yeah, and if you it really depends what you want to do, and there's so many. It's such a big variety of things that you can buy.
And there's an important consideration too, and I think you're getting to this, and that is that you have to focus on quitting smoking first.
Yeah.
So you won't know. I didn't know. My style and my preference and my flavors and tastes have all changed in the last 2.5 years. In fact, longtime viewers will know that I used to like this or that or this and that, and I've changed. I'm not the same person. I'm not still telling you to go buy a TFV8. I'm I'm not the same person. I'm telling you to get to other stuff these days, and I'm different too. I've got this vast collection now of great single coil atomizers and RTAs, and it's just you in your own mind. If you're thinking about quitting smoking, remember, you can do it. It's really hard. We're all going to help you, and that you have to first quit smoking, and then you can decide, if you need, you'll know right away. But it's worth spending the money on a good quitting smoking kit, like this little Joytech D19 thing, or an Aspire, especially the Aspire Nautilus series. Those things are super duper great. In fact, I'm wearing my Aspire shirt today. Yay, Aspire, love them.
Yeah.
But then later, make friends, and then you can try stuff out and figure that stuff out.
Yeah, because when you go to a good store, or you go to a good shop, or even if you're a part of a good community, you'll see there's communities on Facebook and like approved vapors is one of them. And you'll go in there, and everyone in there, or a lot of people in there, are maybe vaping on a budget. They haven't got a lot, and there'll be people in there be quite more than happy to just send something on to say, look, that's going to help you out. My RX 200 that I bought all them years ago, just recently, I told you, a guy had lost his device. So I said to him, I'll send you that, because it's what you do. You share, and you're not sharing stuff. You're sharing the giving up smoking. That's what I mean. For me, yeah, I didn't give up smoking. It's a lifestyle choice, but it's a lifestyle choice that I've chosen, and I don't regret it for a minute. I love doing it. I love the people that I've met, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
To me, vaping combines the vaping is the perfect hobby for me, because it combines for me as an influencer, or whatever they call it. It combines a little bit of narcissism, because I'm okay getting on camera and I love doing this. It combines tech stuff, which I have a good, solid liberal arts education that makes me comfortable in a lab and, in a literature course. And it's just one of those old Texan things. And it combines helping people. We're helping people quit smoking and stay off smoking and build a community and feel like they're part of something. Even if it's just our little community.
Just said you're sharing life, and I think it's right. That is what you're sharing, because we all want to get old. That's it. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe I forgot my own catchphrase. We want to get old, man.
Come on, you gotta get that in there.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's right. I want to get old, man. I want to get old. I don't mean immediately. I mean, I want to live. I want to live, and I want you to too.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
You reminded me of something cool. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but one of the segues I wanted to make, speaking of clever segues, since we're in the mood for that, first of all, I should just say, if you just tuned in, I'm Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. We're talking to our friend Jimboctration today, our old friend from here on Instagram and YouTube. There he is, showing off his beautiful Times Vape mod. And make sure you click like and subscribe. Join us on Discord. Find Jim on Instagram and everything else at Juicy Jones HQ. The links are in the description. The segue I wanted to make was about the techie part of it and liking high-end gear and stuff. And I didn't mean exactly just nice stuff. And I do want to talk about that mod you just got yesterday too, but so that counts. But generally also, I wanted to talk about 2700 batteries and other cool engineering and stuff that's happening, because 2017 was like a fucking desert for innovation, except for 2017 batteries, but we still have a ways to go. And I have to mention that Mooch finally got a YouTube page, and so I want you to subscribe to Mooch and watch him, because he's great. I'm going to try to get him on the show here. I'll send him a link to this, and we'll beg him to come on. I've been trying to get him to come on the show for 2.5 years, and I think probably I'll succeed. Finally, he can be right up there in the Hall of Fame with Phil Basardo and Dimitri and Vaping Greek and you, Jim. So everyone go subscribe to Mooch too. I'll put a link in here. But so yeah. Tell us about that mod, but then let's talk about batteries too, because I want to talk about batteries, especially as they pertain to the new UK regulations and Frogstar and some other stuff, because I've been asking you questions for days about this, and we've just been chatting about it. So let's get some of this out. You stacked that up. That isn't your new one, is it?
No, that's a double 2700 with a 30mm Buddha on it. Vapors Cloud 1111.
That is a killer setup. Seriously, a stacked 2700 with a Buddha on it. That's awesome.
30mm Buddha. This chucks. I've got a triple coil in there at the moment. It goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one of my problems with most mechs is that they're single coil, and as romantic as it is to have a mech and everything, I just hate changing batteries all the time, and so I hate the way the stacked ones look, but I absolutely love that. I think that's fantastic. If I did it, that's exactly what I'd be doing. Would be like,
all you Star Wars fans, if you want a lightsaber.
Yeah, I don't have it. Oh yeah, I do. My first regulated mod was this. And this is just an 18650 iTaste SVD, like the old lightsaber, but this was the one they called the lightsaber because it has the buttons and everything. Oh, you can't see that there. Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
I like that.
For viewers who don't know, Jim is watching me on a different camera, so occasionally I look at him.
But this is what I've just said. This is what I'm saying. Like, for some people, that's the best. And yeah, when you get advanced and like it says on anywhere you read, you've got to know your ohms law. You've got to know how to build. But if you get one of them and you're happy with that, that's the best. Yeah. Everyone's got their their thing, and you shouldn't feel that what you've got ain't enough because the geezer next to you's got an all singing, all dancing 500 quid mod, and you've got something that's 20 quid. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
shop on how well it matches you, totally. And you can try stuff. There's no problem trying stuff, but make sure that you're taking care of your needs and then try junk, and ask people. But be very wary. This is what Jim's saying. Be very wary of people who tell you like there's only this or pick that, like or that something's stupid or whatever. Like I do have a list of stuff that's stupid. Like especially longtime viewers will know that I've got plenty of lists of stuff that's stupid, but I've got reasons for everything I'm telling you. And
Yep.
good reasons to avoid certain stuff, and other reasons like we'll just tell you, go out and buy the new Revo tank or the Cleto 120. Problem solved. Any mod that has 2 batteries and does 100 watts, and then one of those tanks, and you'll never need to buy another piece of vape gear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally buy single battery mods unless I was to do a math to lung or a very low wattage vape, because you get something that says that's a single battery that does 100 watts, that's a dual battery that does 100 watts. It's not, the single battery is not going to do 100 watts.
And the
If you
voltage is all wrong.
what if you're going to get a tank that's or anything that it might recommend 60 to 90 watts, you should be looking at a 2 battery 100 watt.
But what's great
mod.
about that is that single battery mods are awesome because there are a lot of uses for those ranges of voltages.
Yeah,
A lot.
that's
There's tons
right.
and tons of good ones. Yeah.
I mean,
I was going to ask you a specific question. You remember how something's happening in the UK, right? Like the UK is changing the way the batteries are getting labeled.
yeah, I've noticed it. I've had a couple of emails from 18650 UK, and it's not a .co now. And I've also Fogstar, the same thing. I've recently had emails, and it's some kind of UK compliance with the way that the battery wraps are, and they're kind of putting on. They've got machines, and it says, it might say the vendor, fogstar.co.uk, and it'll have the battery make, and it'll have the rating, the MAR, and it'll have the maximum amps on it, and it's all on there. And to me, that's great, because it means that these vendors are going to make even more sure that what they're selling is right, because they're putting their name to it, and that's important.
And so in the UK, and that amperage rating is the actual maximum continuous amperage rating. And remember that everybody, forget pulse rating. That's over. Pulse rating is over. Continuous amp rating, that's what you're shooting for. The days of shooting for this magical, maybe sometimes it's safe number, Mooch has abandoned that. It's over. And we're no longer talking about that ever. And so the number on those batteries is the actual maximum amps, like 30 amps or 15 amps or 20 amps. Remember, there's a use for every battery. If you're vaping at very low wattages on little 24 gauge spaced builds, then a 15 amp battery is great, right?
Yep, that's right.
So don't be fooled. Don't let anyone tell you there's a battery that you've got to get. Like right now, everybody says that the only batteries you can buy are the Sony VTC5B or A or C or whatever, or E or L or Z, and the Sanyo 2700A. Don't listen to that shit. Watch Mooch's ratings and see what the actual amperage limits of the batteries are. Match those to the way you vape and buy batteries.
It's like the old LG, I can't remember the name. The
Coopers?
Yeah, the brown ones. They was a great battery. Samsung 30Qs.
Got
the
a lot
same
of those.
battery. And if you had a cuboid, and you had 2 Samsung 30Qs or 2 LG browns in there, then you've got 6,000 mAh. Now that is going to last you. If you're vaping at low watts, that's going to last you a long time.
Look at the dust on this battery. I just cleared the dust off the battery, but yeah, there's a pooper that he's talking about.
I think the thing is, when people ask what's the best battery, if they don't say what they want it for, if you ever see anyone and they say what's the best battery, because you don't know whether they mean for regulated or mech, you need to assume that they mean worst case scenario. In which case, to me, I will always recommend, I'll say something that's going to handle the most, like the max amps, because I don't know what they're using it on. But then if they specify, then I'll say, well, actually, you might be better off with this or that. But the amount of times you'll see someone using they'll be using an LG brown in a in a mech. Oh, I've been all right. I build safe. No, just no. It's just not even worth it.
Well, I mean, if they really are building safe and they are actually building correctly, then I'm okay with it. Like I said, if you know the battery and you build to the battery, fine. But if I see someone building a 0.08 on that, I'm going to be freaking angry. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the same as
Yeah.
you. I have to field questions from people all the time asking about risky, dangerous, ridiculous, ludicrous, lunatic, unsafe, horrible
Yep.
ideas. And I have to nip those in the buds all the time. In fact, that's one reason why some of you sometimes I sound kind of curt about stuff, or maybe I have a pat response quickly available. It's because I answer the same question over and 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 over. For years I've done that. So, and those answers do change over time, but I do answer them exactly as we know with current knowledge or whatever. And yeah, I like matching the. Like one reason why I keep telling people that it's okay to buy 2700s is that Mooch has rated a lot of 2700 batteries, and like these are rewraps of the iJoy 5-leg batteries.
Well,
These are simply iJoy 5-leg batteries. These I've been telling you guys, by the way, for over a year to buy 2700 batteries. When I told you I had bought 4 of the 2700As, you could buy as many as you want. They were available then.
Well, that's what I'm using now. I've got a 2700A Sanyo, but there's also in the UK they're rewrapped as a vape cell, but it's also a Sanyo 2700A, and that's the same. If you ask the vendor who makes the battery, Fogstar, I've emailed them before, who makes the battery, they'll tell you. They know where their batteries are coming from. They know who's making it, and to me, that's responsible because it's got to be safe, because especially you see it all the time in the newspapers, on the news. They've had a device blow up, and then you look, and one I see recently in our newspaper, someone had put like a normal tank, and they'd put it on a trickster, the mech, the mage trickster, and it says, "Oh, this blew up in my mouth." And you look at the pictures, he's put a tank on a hybrid mech. And then you think, this is the press that we get. You get such bad press for doing this. And it's like, but people we're promoting, there's enough people promoting safety. So if people want to be stupid and do these things that they're told not to, then how is the whole industry to blame for that? They're not. How can you keep highlighting these instances when there's so many people that are careful and there's so many people that are saying, don't do this?
Yeah, we are quite vocal. We're quite vocal. If you're not sure, don't do it.
Well,
yeah, it's quite fascinating. And I'm just really glad that Mooch finally got a YouTube channel. Like I said, we'll get him to come on the channel, and we'll have a little talk with him like this. And I think love that guy. I think he's great, and he's taken a long time to be more vocal about what he's doing. But he has a good video up right now about just basic battery chemistry, which is really good, and how they work, and how they're only designed to ever be touched one time, then sealed up in these things. And that's great. I think I always tell people to search for the super battery, which there's a link in every one of my videos down there, and it's a Nova documentary about these batteries. And if you watch that documentary, you will learn a lot about how it all works, and you'll understand how they fail. That's important. You understand how they fail. It's really important to know. And we have been skating on these lies for years. It's one of the things that buoys up 18650s. 18650s have been operating on the very edge of their tolerances for so long, and we've been trying to squeeze blood out of that turnip, of that design, that form factor. The chemistry is fine. We have, the guys over at Tesla, Elon Musk and them, and Panasonic have changed some of that materials inside. There was some graphene cathodes and some other stuff, but it's the same basic idea, and they just made different sizes, 2700, 21700, and these sizes are just vastly superior. 26650, garbage. They never ever reach into their potential because they don't dissipate heat out from the core well. And they put some actual science into this, and they realize that 18650s suck, even though all those Tesla battery trains now are 18650s, and the battery packs everywhere, they're 18650s. Soon they'll be 2700s and 21700s.
21700s is what I'm looking forward to next.
Amazing.
The 30C is what the mech that I just bought, the Dreamer. I mean, I bought this because I wanted a new mech anyway. I'd seen them around, and
that's 21, right?
21, 2700, and 18650, and I'd seen them around on Instagram for a while, and I thought, I've got to give this a go. And the amount of times that I've seen them. I just thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. So I contacted Stan. I've contacted a few of the reviewers. I was just asking them things that I needed to know about it. But this is for 21,700, 2,700, 18,650. It's future proof. It's future proof. So now I haven't got to worry about when the 18,650s phase out. I've still got a brilliant mech and all the way up to 21,700, and I'm excited for the Samsung 30Ts. I've been doing so many inquiries to try and get one of these batteries. Everywhere at the moment is saying to me they're not in the mainstream yet, they're not ready for prime time, but they're saying sometime next year, and I can't wait. This is just, if anyone out there, if you see one of these mechs, you look in the market for a mech, Dreamer by Times Vape and Stan over at Tenacious Vapes, you've got to give it a look. I think they're about $120. You can't go wrong with it. You just can't go wrong with it. It's great. I've had no problems with it at all. And I'll go from regulated. I've got high-end mechs. I've got purge mechs. Rig. You know what? I haven't put this down. I've had it a day, 2 days, and I can see myself selling a lot of the stuff that I've got because I'm going to get some more of these. Because that now I know that my 18650 mods I'll start shifting out, getting rid of. I'll start getting onto 2700s and 21700s. They're the way forward. They're the way forward. They're safe. And with Mooch doing his tests like he is at the moment, there's going to be no problems in awareness of what the battery can handle. I mean, the 30Ts are looking great.
He's been talking about these for over a year too. In fact, I learned about this phenomenon from watching a 2700 review pop up on his ECF feed over a year ago. It was in like October of 2016. And I was like, oh, what's this? And then I started looking into it hardcore. I started reading press releases on the Tesla website. I started seeing announcements back to 2011 about the rate of battery production. I started looking into, and I remember I had already, all of the other reviewers shit on me so hard for my home tech review. And I'm the only reviewer who reviewed those batteries, who reviewed any battery. Show me any other reviewers who actually reviewed a battery. I called manufacturers. I got emails from Indonesia. I investigated. I asked Mooch. I looked into it, and I was criticized because I didn't endorse Barry, Pegasus Vapor Academy's review of the battery, because I was told that he was the one who knows, and that Mooch was the idiot, and that is incorrect. What is correct is that Mooch had rated the batteries, and that's what I endorsed. So that was Daniel who told me that, and so
I've just noticed that Brady has just said he's only whine about the NATO is it's not a hybrid mech, but a lot of the mods like the Vapors Cloud 1111 works similar to the NATO, and what it is, you've got the battery is in constant contact with it's got like a contact at the bottom and at the top, and you can adjust it. And it's got like a switch at the bottom that makes the connection. So, and it hits as hard as a hybrid. Like my Vapors Cloud 1111 hits as hard as other mechs that I've got. So Brady, no worries about it not being a hybrid. It's fine. It will still hit hard, and it's a lot safer in my opinion.
So it's got a little thing for it in that one.
Yeah, it's got like at the top. I don't know if you're familiar with the SOI Sub-Zero, the SOI mechs, and they've got like in the top or the broadside, they've got kind of like a 510, but it's got like a contact underneath it, but you still get a good connection in there. I mean, the broadside was one of the hardest hitting mechs, and I've got Sub-Zeros, which the newer ones, they're not hybrid. Some of them are not hybrid, and like the shorty I've got, that's not a hybrid, and that hits hard unless you put the Sub-Zero and you can actually make it so that it is a hybrid connection, like constant contact. But there's no difference because the contacts are good. They use good contacts, and that's what matters. Silver contacts, like in the Dreamer. Some mods you might buy them and you've got to upgrade from a copper contact to a silver contact. Not with this. Silver contacts already. Not that most people have noticed that, but yeah, that's just to answer that question anyway.
Huh, interesting. So how does that compare? How does one of those compare to, say, your new rig that you love, that you just think hits so great?
Right, my rig. I'll just get that. Sorry, I'll just get that. I've got the rig 2700. Sorry, I've got the rig 2700, but that's the Outlaw. But I've also got a Descendant, which is the 18650 variant. I don't use the 18650 variant because this with Sanyo 2700As is great. But I will say this: for the price of that, I would rather that. If you ask me to choose that, because this, it's just, I don't. It's just, when you the switch in the Dreamer is similar to the rig. It's a similar kind of design. It's got like a
Springs?
spring loaded. It's got a spring loaded piece inside the switch. So when you look at the switch, it's got a spring loaded bit that compensates for the battery. See, like there,
Yeah.
it pushes up and down, and then inside the pin protrudes.
Through the
So
insulator.
yeah, so once you've got that insulator down and you push that up, you can see it. But it will compensate for any batteries, and the switch on this is brilliant.
How is the throw on it? Is it soft?
It's You've got to be honest. In the box, I noticed it looks like I've got different springs, like two different types of springs, so you can change it. But the one it came with is nice, and it's just a nice. It's not a long throw, but it's nice. And as soon as I press that, that is firing, and it's just great. It's just well made. I can't fault it. And when I'm looking at other mods I've got, I can't see how. Sorry, I can't see how. Like, I've got this. I've got the Purge Speak No Evil, and then I've got the Dreamer, and that performance-wise, that's 18650. That's 2700. I mean,
you can't
and
win.
with 18650, this for the money it costs, I'm sold on this. I mean,
Yeah, what
times
does that
Vapor.
Dreamer cost, by the way? Here we are sitting here endorsing the Dreamer. What does that thing cost?
Well, I think, from what I've seen, they're about $120 on. I think Tenacious Vapes he's got a channel, but I think he's got a site as well that he sells them on with the Lucid RDA, which is another one of his creations. But I think they're about $120. But I think he had a sale on, but I'm not sure. But I mean, to me, by the time I got it shipped over, it wasn't that expensive. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out like the price of this is like a cheap mech that you might buy here. Like I say, a cheap mech or a lower priced mech, but this performs high end, and it's just great quality.
$120 in the US is not particularly expensive for a good mech.
No, and it's for what you're getting, and I'm going to get another one because I bought the copper. I've not got no copper mechs, and I bought the copper just because I thought I'll give it a try. And yeah, I'm sold.
I wish I lived closer to you so I could come burglarize your house.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a haul up there. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, let me do a time check here, and we'll do a station identification. If anything, we could be getting long-winded here. I think we're going long. So let me just do a double check to avoid boring everybody to death. It's always longer than you think. Yeah, we have to go here in probably about 10 minutes. So let's start thinking about wrap-up type stories. So you have a great local shop. You kick the hookah habit, which is funny. And we found a great family. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. That's Jimboctration. I put new links in the description of this thing. It says join us on Discord. Find us at Jizzy Jones HQ. And I don't think I have a link to any actual product inside of this video, but whatever. We're always going to be around. Find us on Discord. You guys in chat, why don't you guys ask Jim some questions if you guys have any? Jim can answer questions about being a Street Fighter dork. Why didn't we talk about Street Fighter at all? What are we doing? We got so vapey.
You know what? Because we just got lost.
We just got lost. Yeah. Do you have your joystick with you? Yeah, look at that.
Get some button bashing going on. That's always frustrating when you lose against a button basher.
Oh, I know. Someone who's just spamming the buttons.
Yeah, that's it. They're like...
You're like, man, I've been. No, wait.
Yeah, wait.
No,
wait. I need to do my Hadouken. Wait.
Don't press that button for a minute, and they just go.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Let me do my super.
Did you see that GIF that Ichi Bear posted in Discord?
Yeah, I
With,
see that.
oh god, that was so funny.
Yeah, but that was the annoying one when you got someone who was E Honda and they just sit there like that over and over again, and you'd be like, you can't even get nowhere near them. You just stand at the side and just fireball them.
Yeah, and
Fireball, fireball.
it's insane how expensive the accessories are now, because fighting games like kind of died off in the arcade. And when they were in the arcade, you used to be able to buy like PlayStation controllers that were super cheap and they were really high quality, made of metal with real buttons, made by Namco, you know, the company. And now you have to pay, like, you paid an incredibly huge amount of money for that really nice controller that's basically a bigger version of the same thing, but you can
James
replace all the
Riviera
buttons.
is asking who my main is. Sorry, James Riviera is asking who my main is. My main is, well, it used to be, it was always Ryu, because you could always guarantee Ryu would be in Street Fighter, always. And I thought he's a safe bet. But I do use Akuma. The only thing with Akuma is you don't want to get it because you're toast, basically. It's just not even worth it.
It's over.
Yeah,
Finish
it's over.
it.
I just like the old traditional Hadouken move, Dragon Punch, and a Hurricane Kick, and I'm sweet. It's easy. I don't want to learn all the new moves in the new Street Fighters. I just want to do what I know, and I'm all right.
You're that jerk at the arcade with the quarters all lined up. It's a challenge. Like, come on.
That's what got me into it. The old video shop. Around the back, he had a Mortal Kombat machine, which I did not like Mortal Kombat, and he had a Street Fighter machine, and I was on Street Fighter constantly, and I'll just never forget it. It's just not because with me, I don't get a lot of time for gaming, and I fidget, and I can't do anything for a long time. So I like to just pick something up, play it for a little while, and put it down. And with Street Fighter, I can pick it up, have a few games, and then walk away from it before I get annoyed. Because I'm not brilliant at it, I just enjoy playing it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this participation in it. You know what I mean?
Totally. I'm really glad that those games on PC have had a kind of a comeback. PC gaming is kind of coming back a little bit. You know, years ago, kind of at the height of WoW, I was trying to tell other people, like, PC gaming is dying, y'all. And they were like, no, it's not. That's what he's
This is
vaping
the
on.
Chili Dog. He's asking what juice I'm on by City Vape.
And I am on Amour by Van Gogh Vapes, of course, which is amazing. Look how much I have left. Almost none.
That's sad times. Like
Yeah.
when I used the rest of my Eat and Mess, and now I can't get no more, and I am gutted. When I met Sadiq at Expo, he gave me a bottle of Eat and Mess, and I was sold on it, and I can't get it.
Oh, the Eatin' Mess.
Anyway.
So good. I've got some of that right here somewhere in my...
Oh, also, I'm vaping on good old Element Watermelon Chill.
I love that bottle.
I've got that in the good old Cleto on a Minikin.
I love that bottle. That's so good. Oh, someone said, how about Bloody Roar from back in the day? Yeah, totally. We used to play, God, man, like, I'm so old. I'm much older than I look. I'm like 46 years old. So I was that guy who had, like, you know, the Atari 2600, and like that's where I started, the Nintendos and all that stuff.
Stephen's asking why mech tubes cost so much more than mods with chips, and the only thing I can say to that is, well, with one of these, there's no electronics in it, so you've got a mod for life in one respect. On the other aspect, it's more an enthusiast thing, you know. There's mechs that people might get that be at the lower end. You can get a Vapors Cloud set up quite cheap, or you might get a Purge, and you get some of these mods. I've seen mods for £1,500 that are made of silver. And some people, and this is where, going back to when you go into places and you've got a bit of elitism, which can put people off. You go into shops and they might say, no, you don't want one of these, you want this. And it's like,
yeah, the upsell. And also, it's important to point out that perceived value is an important part of this. And the biggest factor, perhaps, at least if I were a manufacturer, what I would tell you is that the biggest factor is the amount of hand labor that goes into them. So they would tell you that their hand design, hand labor, it takes a lot of metal to make them, and it takes a lot of love and care and attention. And so that gives more what's called perceived value. It's perceived as worth more than a mass-produced thing that is a chip that's designed and soldered and assembled. And that's actually been a fact of sales and marketing for, you know, thousands of years. Perceived value.
And you know, another thing is bragging rights. Some people have got this thing about, look what I've got, and that again, it goes. Unfortunately, there is that side to this, but it's not all about
that's right where
that,
I was headed, exactly.
but it is there.
That's
and
like the bad
it,
end of it. The bad end
yeah,
of it is that people are like, oh, you
it's-
want like stab wood for $400. I've got news for all y'all. Stab wood is plastic. It's acrylic. So,
Yep.
and especially when you see the new stab wood that's like mostly acrylic, it's like, oh, it's amazing. Those are shitty like thirds they were going to throw away that they put more acrylic in. They're selling it at a higher price. Like perceived value is magic, and so
Yeah.
you have to be an aware consumer because at the abusive end they gouge you. At the good end, you get a great value for the best thing.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like when I bought my like when I buy any mech, if you've got serial numbers, you'll be surprised. I've seen people and they've had a, especially with the rogue mods, the rogues. There's a guy on Facebook, he collects rogues, and he'll have a rogue and it'll be a Lemmy, say, which is like got a picture of this guy on it with a hat and all that. He sold
from
he
Motorhead.
sold it with a serial number 10 to buy one with a serial number 1. Same mod, but he wanted a lower number. I think people, you put a value. If you want something so bad, you put your own value on it, and that's what it is.
Right. Exactly. So there's that. The good news is that you can also spend a lot of money on regulated mods. It's just there aren't that many nice ones. You know, I personally like regulated mods better myself. That's just me. But I'd rather buy, 5 mods than 1. Because even though I have an Instagram, it's just, I don't know, it's just more my style to try a bunch of stuff. Just how I am.
Well, I've got a few regulators. I bought the SX Mini G class, but since I bought this, I haven't bought anything else. But what I will do now is I will wait until a good 21700 regulator comes out, and I will buy one. But at the moment, like you've said before, it's 18650 mods. I think the most recent one I've seen is one that you've recently reviewed or recently spoke about, and that's the SkyStar. And to me, that's taken things in a different direction. They've used a new chip. They're bringing innovation with that. And to me, that says a lot more to me than just seeing a load of the same thing released all the time.
This is good for low ramp up times. Like the little punch mode when you put it on hard, like it just lowers ramp up time. It's really cool, actually.
I like that feature. I mean, my Minikin V2 didn't have that on it. I recently upgraded the firmware, and now I've got the hard, medium, and soft ramp ups. I've got the curved options, and to me, that's important because, sometimes you'll vape it, and that warming up period can sometimes not taste great, and then by the time you get to the flavour of the juice when it starts getting a warmer temperature, you've stopped vaping it. You've come away from it.
Check out the custom modes. This also has custom power modes in addition to the soft and hard that are the little graph. Oh, I have to get it back up. I'll show you, Jim. It's like you can set little graph of each
I like
one.
that.
It's rad. And you can do everything on this mod with one thumb, and it never misfires. It never changes. Like it's got a timer on it to where you think that it's not sensitive at first, but then you realize that if you touch this button, there's a timer. It's like 2 seconds where you can't touch the screen, and if you do, it won't do anything. That's to protect you. This thing is never screwed up in my pocket. I kind of love that.
You know what? It was the same with the old iJoy Lux.
Yeah.
Now this had that exact same thing where you had a chart in there and you could go up and down with the ramp times. Even on some
nice,
of my,
I totally forgot. Yeah, totally.
Even
a lot
on
of
the
people are
iJoy
doing that.
stuff, it had it, and it's a great idea. But I'm glad we've moved away from the old 26-650 batteries, though.
Me too. Those are terrible. And the 20 and 21 size ones are pretty good. And also, I want to clarify, I'm not telling anyone to stop buying 18650 batteries. You have to keep buying batteries to make sure that your mods are safe. But just don't buy new mods because all the manufacturers are going to switch to this. It's just a matter of when their production is going to come up. It might be 1 more year. It might be 2. But in the near future, they're gouging us on 18650 mods in the near future because all the best ones come with batteries right now. Hey, let's wrap this up. We're getting to the end of our thing. Let me just grab the controller here and say something party there, Jim. And we'll
partying. See you later, everyone, and I'll speak to you in Discord. I always like to have a little chat in there and come out with a few one-liners, try and make people laugh. That's what I'm all about.
Funny. That's right. Come join us in Discord. I'm Juicy Jones. That's Jimboctration, and we are on Instagram and Juicy and on YouTube and everywhere else. Click subscribe. This has been Vaping Dawn to Dusk, our interview show every Wednesday at 6 a.m. I'm live here on YouTube at for Vape AM. I'm sorry, it's kind of early, so I'm skipping a little bit here. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in live and everybody who's here. Love all you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to wrap this up. And thanks so much. Remember, we're trying to get old here. Let's quit smoking, start vaping.